The gospel begins as follows. Matthew 13, verse 44. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who, on finding one pearl of great value, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net, which was thrown into the sea and gathered fish of every kind. When it was full, men drew it ashore and sat down and sorted the good into vessels, but threw away the bad. So it will be at the close of the age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the furnace of fire. There men will weep and gnash their teeth. Have you understood all this? They said to him, Yes. And he said to them, Therefore every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old. All right, so that's the end of the gospel. So let's walk through each of those together. You can see here Jesus gives three parables of the kingdom, three last parables of the kingdom, a little bit shorter. And then he ends with this final statement about scribes who are trained for the kingdom of God. So what's going on in these verses? Well, the first thing I want to say is, as with some of the other parables, these first two that we have for this Sunday have a bit of a twist to them that helps us to get into an understanding of what the mystery exactly is that Jesus is trying to reveal. In other words, you have to look for the surprising element in the parable, the riddle, and that will give you an insight into the mystery of the kingdom. So, although the parables are very familiar, there are parts of them that are a bit strange if you stop and reflect for a second, or you try to put yourself in the shoes of Jesus' first century Jewish audience. So, with regard to the first parable, the treasure hidden in the field, we can see already there's an unexpected element here. Think about this for a second. If you were walking along and you found a treasure hidden in a field, what would you do? Well, I don't know about you, but if I wanted to keep the treasure, I would dig it up and take it with me. But that's not what the person does here. It says here that he found the treasure in the field and he covered it up. And then in joy he goes and sells all that he has to buy that field. Okay, that's a weird response to finding a hidden treasure. Usually people will just take the treasure and then go and use it and sell it, right? And become rich, or use it to buy what they want, right? This guy finds the treasure, apparently buries it again, covers it up, and then goes and buys the land on which the treasure is hidden. What's going on here? What is Jesus trying to say? Well, I think here the basic message of the parable again lies in the twist. Namely this: you cannot steal the kingdom of God. You have to give everything in order to obtain it, right? So he can't unjustly obtain the kingdom. He has to go sell all that he has and buy the field where the treasure is hidden. So this tells us both that the kingdom is a hidden reality. It's not lying about on the ground. It's something that is buried, that's hidden, but it's also something that can't be stolen. That we have to give all that we have if we're going to possess it. Okay? And yet, at the same time, even though it's hidden, it's valuable, it's precious. It's actually going to make us spiritually rich, right? With the rewards of everlasting life. So that's the first parable. A great parable, especially if you love, like I do, novels like Treasure Island. You know, this idea of hunting for lost treasure, the quest for lost gold. It's something that you find in all different human cultures, the idea of seeking for a treasure. And so Jesus takes that common theme of lost treasure, of hidden gold, and he uses it to show us that the kingdom is precious, the kingdom is valuable, that it's worth everything. It's worth losing everything. A similar image is found in the second parable here, which is commonly known as the pearl of great price. So it says that the kingdom's like a merchant who's in search of fine pearls, and when he finds this one pearl of great value, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that pearl. Now again, where's the twist in here? Well, on the one hand, it's seems like it might just be a common story about someone looking for pearls. The twist, though, is in the way the man responds. If you found, again, put yourself in his place, if you found this one pearl, this beautiful, great pearl of great price, would you sell everything in order to obtain it? In other words, would you sell your house, sell your clothes, get, all of your possessions in order to obtain the pearl? That's going to be a problem, because can you eat a pearl? Can you drink a pearl? Can you dwell in a pearl? Will it give you shelter? No. In other words, the man overreacts, in a sense, to the discovery of the great pearl. He gives away everything for the sake of this one thing, this pearl of great price. It seems like he is, in a sense, crazy, right? Like if you found someone who was walking along in tattered clothes and didn't own anything, and you asked them, are you okay? Is everything all right? Oh, I've got my pearl. That's all I need. You would think that that person was a little crazy, a little mentally unstable. And so this merchant here, who gives away everything for the sake of this one pearl, is, in a sense, what Jesus is calling his disciples to do. He's calling them to be foolish in the eyes of the world. He's calling them to live a radical life of discipleship, where nothing else matters except the one thing. And that one thing, that pearl of great price, is the kingdom of God. It is the kingdom of heaven.